I'm going to bring the judge in formally now to address a serious issue, which is the White House wants to know who's doing all the leaking. Spokesman Sean Spicer has reportedly resorted, I should say, to searching staffers' phones. All right, Judge, how does a libertarian feel about the boss searching a staffer's phone?
Well, let me tell you how the Constitution feels. So if our bosses ask for our phones, this one is owned by Fox, and there's all kinds of Fox material on it.
Yep.
I have no expectation of privacy. I have to hand it over to them. But our bosses are not the government. The government is regulated by the Fourth Amendment, which guarantees certain rights to privacy absent a search warrant by a judge. So there are real serious problems with someone in the government taking a government phone back from someone that works for them, unless at the time they began working for the government, they waived their rights. I haven't seen the documents that these people signed when they started working.
You're on very thin ground.
Well, I'm on the ground of the Constitution.
Your interpretation of the Constitution.
Pretty much standard interpretation of the Constitution with respect to telephones. So the Constitution doesn't regulate
The Constitution doesn't mention telephone.
The Constitution mentions persons, houses, papers, and effects. The computer chip in here is an effect.
Are you going to sue? Are you going to sue Spicer on the grounds that he has no constitutional right whatsoever?
Spicer didn't take my phone. If he did, it would be.
So you have no standing in court. Is that the story?
Correct. But the people whose phones he did take, now I understand he demanded government phones and requested private phones, and everybody in that room willingly surrendered both. It's a serious constitutional issue. But I'll tell you, there's another serious leak going on that is far more serious, and that is the intelligence community concealing and revealing in order to embarrass and manipulate the president. That stuff is a felony. That's the stuff that the FBI is looking for. There's 60,000 agents who spy on all Americans. Only 100 have access to that kind of information.
So, but there would be no problem with the government looking for government-owned phones in that event where it's an intelligence leak.
Correct.
And it's a felony to leak it.
The leaks that have frustrated the president and Sean Spicer from within the White House are frustrating them politically. That stuff is not a crime. It may violate a work agreement. It may mean they didn't pick people that were loyal to them. That's not a felony. But when the intelligence community lawfully listens to what the Russian ambassador says, unlawfully repeats what his American correspondent says, because Mike Flynn was protected by the Constitution, whereas the ambassador may not have been. That's the felony right there, the release of what Mike Flynn said in that conversation.
You know, I've been watching The Tudors, you know, that series from Britain.
And I bet you've been loving every minute of it.
Well, there's Henry VIII.
The bloodier the better, right?
When Henry VIII wanted to find out who was leaking stuff, he put him on the rack.
Yes. Should we return to that?
Absolutely not.
Is Henry VIII really the founder of a church?
Yes. Don't even go there on a Monday morning. We got the whole week for the rest.
Yes.